For tuning into this episode of The Kim Jacobs Show. Be sure to subscribe to The Kim Jacobs Show right on YouTube. Turn on your notification bell to all so you never miss a beat. And guess what? Every time you watch, you're going to receive a real, relevant, and relatable guest that's going to share with you a piece of the puzzle on this journey called life that will help you be able to manage just a little bit smoother. At the end of the day, the Kim Jacobs Show goal is to be able to provide balance to the world, one household at a time.
Kim Jacobs Show. You're watching Kim Jacobs Show.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of The Kim Jacobs Show. How are you over there, Effie Robertson?
Good morning, Kim. Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you so much for being here. Listen, everybody, during this holiday season, it's a lot going on. I hope that you all are clinging tight to your loved ones and telling them how much you cherish them and how much you love them and how important they are in your lives. Because as we know, things can change in a moment's notice without any notice in many times. So I want us to make sure as we are going throughout this holiday season that we get a chance to just whoosh. We just unwind and take a moment to just relax and relish in the moment that God has given us. I am excited to be able to do that with my family this holiday season, and I hope that you all will do the same. Effie, you have any special plans this holiday season?
Just to be with the family. My favorite time of the year is this season, so I just love being with my family, loving on my family, watching movies. We just kind of hang out and just have a good time. So looking forward to it.
Good. That's same here. I'm looking very much forward to it as well. Actually, starting December 23rd will be like my last live session here. And then you all will be able to catch some of the great repeats that's been happening throughout the year. We have some great episode reruns for you that's going to be pretty phenomenal. So many times, if you haven't had a chance to catch up on episodes right when they're happening, you'll get a chance to binge watch some shows throughout the holiday season right here on the Kim Jacobs Show, right at your regular time at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So be in your virtual seat still, and you'll be able to get a good teaching from whoever my guest is on those days. All right. So as we kick today's episode off, let us know where you're visiting in from. Effie, did you get a chance to share the broadcast as well?
Yes, I did.
All right. So listen, everybody tag your friends, your family, your coworkers. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you all 30 seconds to do that, because sometimes it takes a minute for everybody to get in their virtual seats. And then like, Kim, you done already introduced her, you on points and everything. And we just got here. Okay. The doors opened right at 11 and you knew that. So you didn't even give us 5 minutes to get seated. All right, everybody, take 30 seconds now and go ahead and tag about 10 friends. Doesn't that go so fast?
It go by so fast.
Like,
really? Like, wait a minute.
Really? I'm like, this is getting so crazy, because I'm like, I had more people I was going to tag, but then of course I had to stop because then the 30 seconds is over, you know? I'm like, okay, let me at least get one more in, and this is about it. If y'all have to do the rest of the tagging. All right, everybody. So we are talking with Effie Robertson. She's an extraordinary inspirational speaker, a best-selling author, and an empowerment advocate. She's passionate about uplifting and empowering people to live the legacy that they desire by realizing their own potential, purpose, and destiny. And it's a lot more to her story, but what I'm going to do is let her tell you her story as we go through our conversation today. Welcome, Effie Robertson.
Thank you, Kim, for having me here. It's a pleasure to be here and just be able to talk to women. I am also a master resilience coach. So I focus on everyday women who have just been knocked down by those life challenges. And I want to equip them with the confidence to get back up, the courage to face their fears and the tools just to bounce back
Good.
and prevent those sabotaging behaviors that they have to keep them stuck there in the first place. So
That's
we need to
good.
get through that and we need to change that mindset. And we all know that at this time, just like you were talking about loving on our family, this world is in a whole different space right now. Um,
Yes.
it's so divided. Everyone. I'm sorry, Kim. Do you hear echo from me? Because I have my buds in. Are you okay? Okay.
I hear
Um,
everything sounds good on my end, but if you
okay.
you can take the buds out, feel free
Okay.
if you
I'll
want.
take one out. I'll take one out. Um,
You can take them
but
both out. It's fine because we can hear you fine. So you don't even
okay.
need them. You sound really clear.
Okay, all right. Yeah, we are just in such a divided world right now, and with our own personal traumas and setbacks that we have, and then with the world, it just seems so impossible sometimes to get through those traumas because you feel so alone and you feel isolated. And then
Yeah,
on top of that, with us having a worldwide pandemic, that just didn't make the situation any better at this
that's right.
point. So
That's
people
right.
are really feeling lost and don't know where to turn and feel like people don't understand. And resilience can be taught. It can be taught. And we need to teach you those skills to be resilient and get through those adversities and thrive while you do
That's
so.
good. Good. Yes. When did you realize that resiliency was like something that you needed to kind of glean from yourself on your own journey?
Oh gosh. I think I probably realized it probably in maybe my mid 30s that I
Hmm.
realized that I needed to focus on more of resiliency and focus on that mindset, shifting my mindset,
Okay.
um, because it just felt like my life has always been full of turmoil or tragedies and traumas. And you know, you can get back up and fight and move on to the next thing. But if you don't change your mindset, you kind of fall back in those same traps over and over. You self sabotage yourself because many times, which sometimes we don't want to admit that we don't think we're worthy enough for anything better. We do not think the life that is there waiting for us, we don't think we deserve that life. And so we continue to self sabotage ourselves so that we stay and remain in those same behaviors, in those same tragedies of life over and over. And it's just a repeated cycle. And it goes from generation to generation to generation.
Wow. And when you say some of the consistent things that keep happening and keep happening and keep happening from your past, it's like how do you finally get off of that hamster wheel to say, okay, that's over there. I'm no longer going in that direction. I'm going in this direction. And it sounds like that had to happen in your own life. Did you teach yourself this resiliency or did you get coached by someone else to
I
become
was
resilient?
coached by someone else as well and became certified.
Interesting.
Yeah, I had to become the first thing is just become self-aware.
Okay.
Many times we are not self-aware of what's really what we're thinking, our behaviors. We're not controlling our behaviors to the environments around us, the situations. We think we get up and we say, okay, well, this happened, so I'll just do this because it worked before. Well, it may have worked in that instance, but then that precipitated something else that didn't work. So, in
Mhm.
all actuality, it really didn't work. So, let's try something different. Let's be self
Good.
aware of that, and then we can control what happens next.
What? All right, y'all. Y'all right. Y'all listen. We talking with Effie Robertson today, and we're gonna talk about resiliency. And this woman's gonna tell us what was like a turning point for her in her journey that made her decide that resiliency is where it's at. So right after this commercial break, we're gonna hear what was that turning point for you? And how did you officially decide that this is going to be the new course of my life? What did you do differently? Because you were doing something before and it clearly wasn't working according to what you're saying. What was that thing? What did you start doing to get on the right track right after this break? I'll give you time to think about it. If you're like, Girl, that's a lot of questions right after this break.
I'm attorney Kenneth D. Snow, and at the Snow Legal Group, justice is our job.
For more than 20 years, Attorney Snow has been fighting for justice and winning cases in the Carolinas by providing aggressive representation in criminal defense, domestic violence, family law, serious injury, and wrongful death. If you've been injured or lost a loved one in an accident, including tractor trailer or rideshare, you need the Snow Legal Group by your side, fighting for justice and fighting for you. Visit snowlegal.com. Call 704-358-0026 for a free virtual consultation. Located at 6827 Fairview Road, Suite D in South Park.
All right, everyone, we're back and we're talking with Effie Robertson, and she's talking to us about winning through resiliency. So we're going to hear a lot about how we can win through resiliency. But I want to hear from you. What was your turning point?
I think my true turning point was when I laid on a table fighting for my life. When they placed me, I remember I had an allergic reaction. And I remember passing out. I passed out, and I remember waking up in a different room. And when I woke up, I could hear the doctor telling the nurses, line her throat so that we can cut her throat, because they were going to put a trach in. And I could hear her, and I looked up at the doctor's face, and she was just white as a sheet. You could tell she was afraid for me. And I looked at my husband, who was standing at the end of the bed, and the color was just drained from his face. And when I closed my eyes, I was in and out of consciousness. And when I tell you, Kim, when you at the when you're almost dying, when you're at that point, God still gives you free will. God gives you free will. And I had a choice to allow my body to relax and drift off, or I had a choice to fight, to be there.
Wait. When you say, ooh, what you're saying is deep here now, Effie. You're saying that you had a choice whether you were going to just go with death, kind of? Is that what I'm...
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
So
I'm a nurse by profession, so I've heard these stories from people who have made it. You hear it from your patients, right. And you like, yeah, okay, it just wasn't your time. That's what you kind of put it off at. It just wasn't your time.
Right.
But then you hear stories of people who were married for 50 years, and one will die and the next will die the next week.
Yes.
And you wonder, well, why would you die? Like, God gives you. When I tell you free will doesn't stop, because that's the God that we serve, free will doesn't stop. And when I laid on that bed, he gave me a choice to say, you can go or you can stay. And at that moment, I felt myself saying to God, I didn't do this. I didn't tell my kids I loved them. I told them I'll be right back. Look at the way my husband's eyes look when I close my eyes. He's hurting. He's not ready for this. Wait, God, I said I was going to do this, but I didn't do it. I promised you I would tell women this, or I would teach women this, and I didn't do it. And every time, Kim, that I was trying to fight to come back, my body felt like it was on a bed of coal. I was burning. It hurt. It hurt to fight to stay alive. And mind you, my husband told me they were shooting me up with propofol, fentanyl, and some other narcotics. So my body didn't feel any physical pain. Well, within my subconscious, I felt pain to fight to stay alive.
But you were fighting. You were fighting with everything within you.
Every fiber, every vein, every tendon, every capillary, everything. I was fighting within me to stay alive.
And you could hear them, you could hear and you could see, but they didn't know you could.
They thought I was out, and I could hear every word they were saying. And my husband came over to me, and I could feel him grab my hand, but I couldn't grab his hand back. And he was just praying, because my husband is a praying man, and he just prayed and was praying. And I kept wanting to say, I can hear you. I can hear you. Don't give up. I can hear you. I'm fighting.
Good God.
And at that moment,
Ooh.
I said that was it. When I got up, I was like, there's no more playing games. There is no more saying I'm going to do it and don't do it. Because it doesn't matter if I fail. If I fail, it's okay.
It doesn't matter. It's fine. Just go on to the next thing.
Go to the next thing.
You know what? That's
Your biggest
interesting.
successes come from your biggest failures. So
I
it's okay.
agree. I
It's
agree,
okay.
Effie. I agree with you 100%. And in your case, it was you laying on the table and fighting for your own life. I know in my situation, my son was laying on the table, and the same, I was like, first of all, the free will that you're talking about, I went and asked the doctor, can you please? I didn't even think I had to beg. I thought it was like, how you are organ donor and different things. I wanted them to take my heart and put it in my son. I was like, this is my free choice. I'm signing up for it. Just like people do bone marrow or whatever procedures, organ, kidney donations, and whatever. I want to donate my heart. And they thought, when I say they thought I was crazy, right? I was like, no, I am very well in my right mind because I wanted to give my son a chance to have the rest of fullness on life. If there was a possibility for it, just take mine. And so now at this point, they obviously did not take my heart. Clearly, I'm still here. But at the end of the day, I feel like it gave me this passion, this drive that there's no turning back. I have to help as many people as I can. I have to pour into people and let them know that, listen, don't worry about your life circumstances and your life issues and things that happen. This too shall pass. But you got to do what God has called you to do on this earth, because all of us one day we're going to leave this earth. We're going to all leave this earth. And what did you do while you were here?
Yeah.
What impact? What's your legacy? What are you doing? And so I wholeheartedly agree with your theory that
And so I do want to make a disclaimer too, that people do have medical conditions that do, cause their untimely deaths or cause them to go away from the earth. And sometimes that's not about free will, that's about the choices that we make in our life or unfortunate things that may happen. But I know in this particular case, and we've heard it many times where people say, no, I fought to stay alive. And you just kind of think like, yeah, no, it really just wasn't your time to go. No, you fought to stay alive. And I totally get it. I totally get it. And I totally said, there is no sitting down on what God needs me to do anymore. And whatever that takes, I need to get up and figure it out. And sometimes you don't know what it entails. You don't know the path you need to take. But you know what? You need to move. Because every movement that you make, it makes it clearer to you. Your path becomes clearer. And when you sit there and you try to do it in perfection and you want to come out in perfection, well, you're really not doing anything. So nothing is perfected, nothing is anything. It's just all in your head and you're still not doing it. Yeah.
This is all everywhere and there. And that's so
But
good.
I hope your son is well.
My son is at home in heaven, and
I'm sorry, Kim.
And so he is. That's why I wear this pin all the time. And I tell, if you haven't heard me tell everybody, anybody that's watching today, get an ultrasound of your child's heart, because I do recommend that if there's any way possible, talk to your primary care physician, ask them for a cardiologist, a referral, let them know you think something's going on with your child's heart, whatever the case may be, so that they can check through an ultrasound, because it can be surgically corrected if there is a heart defect. But if you don't know there's a heart defect, there are so many children that are collapsing with basketball courts and football fields, soccer fields, different things, dance recitals, whatever. And it's because some of them have heart defects and they don't know that they're even experiencing any issue. Because I hear coaches and people on the news saying, hey, if your child is experiencing faintness or something, they should speak up and say something to the coach. Well, like in my case, my son didn't know that he had a heart defect. He was just living his best life. And then until the first time that we were aware of it was sudden cardiac death. So no parent should have to wait till you experience sudden cardiac arrest before you then can determine your child has a heart defect. And so I hope that the message, when I do share this with people, that it does make a difference for you and your family. And I've had communication where people have come back and said, my child had surgery thanks to you sharing that message, Kim. So, and now the child is on this earth still, whatever it
Yeah.
takes to get the
Yeah.
message out. So,
Yeah.
Effie, in your case, you fought. You
I
fought.
fought.
And
I
you
fought.
know that when people say that they are fighting for their lives, that it's really happening. And you really did it yourself. You fought.
Yeah.
And what happened? You came back. What
I
was it
came
like when
back,
you came back?
and I've been on a mission just to and I think it took at first again that self-awareness for me, for myself, and to kind of check myself. Some things I was doing, some things I was saying. I kind of had to check myself. Some reasons
Interesting.
why I dismissed people. I was quick to dismiss people or quick to make judgments about people. I really had to check myself. And that's when I tell you that awareness, it will hurt your feelings.
Right. It's like, hello, do you see you? Do you see yourself? What do I see? Now, don't worry about the other person. What do I see in me?
Yes,
Right.
yes. And
That's
you
good.
have to start that to just start to control again your behaviors and your actions and then go forward from there. But I just haven't stopped. And again, sometimes I'm on a mission of trying to figure it out, but I want to teach women it's okay not to have all the answers, because we as women think we should have the answers for everyone because we are natural born caretakers, nurturers,
Right.
and so we need to fix everything, especially
That's right.
within our homes and our communities. We need to be able to fix those things. And I want women to know that's okay not to have the answer for everybody or everything. That's
That's
okay.
good. Good advice. Don't think that you have to know it all, because we don't
Yeah.
know it all. But one thing that Effie Robertson knows is that when she came back off of her near-death experience, that she was not going to go out of this fight on this earth without pulling in as many women as she can. So I am excited. I want to hear more about your like leadership style and team building and some things that I see here in your bio. You say that you have extensive experience in leadership, team building, and business development. So when we come back, I'd like for you to talk a little bit about that as well. And I'm doing a good job, Effie, giving you a break, right? So I give you a chance
Yes,
to
you
think about it.
already.
You're like, yes, girl, thank you. Go to commercial break.
Yeah.
Right after this commercial break, we're going to hear about all of this leadership that God has blessed this woman with.
It's not just another day, it's a brand new day, full of all the fun, love, and laughter you and your family create. Silver Shield Security understands feeling at home means feeling safe and happy. No credit checks, no contracts. We offer payment arrangements, and we'll even give you a free door camera. Find out how we can brighten your day even more at silvershield-security.com. Silver Shield Security.
All right, everybody, and we are back with Effie Robertson. And so talk to us about your leadership style.
So again, like I said, my profession is a nurse, and so most of that has been spent on an executive level, leading and having employees. But I am the type of leader. So I ran quite a few buildings, nursing home buildings, assisted living facilities, and I'm one that will, if I have a cook, because I have to hire the cook, where I'm going in there, I know everything about the kitchen. I know how to cook the food. I know how you're serving. My
Good.
CNAs, I come in sometimes with my scrubs on and I'm going out on the floor and I'm helping them. Whether it's getting people up, changing them, toileting, whatever that requires. Because when we sit down and have staff meetings, when you tell me you can't do your job or you want to raise or whatever the situation is that we need to discuss, I want to be able to say, well, I don't want to say no without a reason to say no. I want to
That's
say,
good.
well, I remember doing it this, and maybe if we try this, I want to be able to give some suggestions, but I also want to be able to say, well, yeah, I think you deserve a raise, or I think we need to implement something different so it makes your job easier.
So
That's
you're
the
like an
type of leader
undercover
I
boss
am.
type of thing. So you're
I'm
an
sorry.
undercover boss. I said you're like an undercover boss, but you're
Yeah.
really not undercover. You're going
Right.
in as Effie, and you're like,
Right.
look, Effie gonna do this for real, and then I'm gonna see how it can really work for you. Then I'll let you know if what you're saying is reasonable request or not. I
Yeah.
love it. So your
Yes.
leadership style, based on what I'm hearing, is implementation yourself by doing it and trying it to get a better compassionate understanding of what your employees may or team members may be going through.
Absolutely. That's it. That's exactly what I do. So even with now teaching resiliency, it's because of things that I've been through. You know, I'm one, I have a bachelor's, I have a master's, I'm working on my PhD, but a book is just a book that you read. And I feel like those life experience is what teaches you, is what really teaches you. And so
Good.
because I've been through so many things in my life that, I remember I used to ask God, why did you put me through all this? I don't understand. I'm a good person. Why am I going through it? But now I know that my story is not for me. My story is for someone else, to help
Yeah.
someone else get through. So I can really say to someone, I've been through that. Not
Yeah.
because I read it in a book, but I've been through it, and
Yeah.
I know my experience may be different, but I truly can empathize with you or where you're at this moment.
That's
So what
interesting.
can we do to get to help you move forward? To
Good.
to help with this adversity. So I just truly believe in experience is the best teacher.
That's good. Experience is the best teacher for sure. And once we've gone through some life experiences, I know in life is things that I would never have voluntarily said, God, please use me to make this
Right.
example be for other people. It's like, that's okay. You can go ahead and let that cup pass me any day because I don't want to
Yeah.
experience certain cups. But for whatever reason, if God allows us to be that vessel for him to use as this is what it looks like when you go through XYZ, whatever XYZ is for you, then not that we want to be so proud of it, because some things is like real bad tests and trials and tribulations and stuff. And I wouldn't wish some things on anybody. I just,
Yeah.
no matter whether they like me, don't like me, can't stand me, don't want to look at whatever, I would just never wish some things on people because I just feel like I didn't even want to experience some of these things. So I dare not in any of my prayer time say, hey, let them get a taste of this. No, that has never been a prayer of mine. And I'm sure you can relate to that,
Yes,
right?
absolutely. You don't want to wish things on people, but then you're like, okay, well, I've gone through this, and okay, something else is coming. That's the thing. Something else is coming, but it's how do we walk through that storm?
That's right. Yeah. And then sometimes I notice we're having a conversation here. Everybody else, you all are just listening in. I don't know what y'all are doing. You can
I
type
know,
your
right?
own questions, but I'm just sitting here talking to my girlfriend. We're having a good old conversation. But I know some things, Effie, that I've experienced, I haven't even always shared it with everyone, right? Because it's like I don't know, you don't always know when God, I believe, gives you the right time to be able to reveal what needs to be revealed at the right appropriate time. And he knows when that timing is. So I'm always very careful. But I also know that some, people know that know you anyway. They like, how's she doing that? I had one of my friends, she was like, Kim, you were crying. You were crying. I saw you. You were crying before you did this. And then when it was time to do it, you were like, hello. Like, she was like, how you do that? I promise.
That's that resiliency. That's that resiliency right there.
I promise, Effie, it's not even like I'm not faking or anything. I'm just
Yeah.
being myself. And I believe that God does not put more on us than we can bear. So for whatever the reason, whatever the circumstance, whatever the situation, if it's on me some kind of way, I am equipped to handle it. Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
Yes. Resiliency is like a muscle. You build it. You build it. It's like a muscle. So yeah, you've been through so many things that have knocked you down that you learn how to, okay, I do have to go on with life. I do have
Right.
to get through this. And sometimes we have to separate. And although we have to go on through life through the world, we have to
Right.
separate everything that's going on in the world, because then it becomes too much.
That's
Because
right.
then you seem like you're just this small little thing in the world, and I cannot do it
Right.
because the world problems are so big and the world can't fix their problem. So how can little old me fix my problems?
That's you.
But if
You
little
preach,
old
girl.
me,
You preach. Let me put. If you hear background stuff, it's because I'm putting on all this like good music. I'm like, let me cut some volume up because I don't know if y'all can hear it. I'm in the background playing all kind of stuff. Can you hear that?
I hear it.
It's just background under you talking. That's all, but it sounds good. I was like, that sounds like pick me up music. That's so you being this resilient woman that you're sincere about this thing and you're passionate about it and you believe that it's a mindset. What how is the mindset factored into the resiliency that each of us desire to have from your perspective? How does mindset play a factor in resiliency from your own perspective?
Because
And you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna give you a commercial break. I'll give a commercial break and then right after that, I want to hear your response. That's hilarious. I think I'm doing a good job with that too, giving you the commercial breaks. But listen, everybody, all of these commercials are from our episode sponsors. So be sure to reach out and let them know that the Kim Jacobs Show is sending you over to them if you should reach out to them, okay?
My father had 4 of his fingers amputated in a workplace accident. It was the first injured individual I represented, and I knew I had to win that case. When someone walks into my office and they've been injured, I know what they're going through. If you've been injured at work, work with Hunter and Everett. We've got the experience, so let us help you.
All right, everybody, and we're back with Effie Robertson. Effie, tell us from your perspective how mindset plays into this whole resiliency concept.
So again, let's start first with that self-awareness, and we have to know the things that we're doing. So we need to first start, and it's all about that health and body, like we were talking about. So if you know that you don't get enough sleep or enough exercise, you have to start. First of all, your mind has to be rested
That's right.
because you're not focused and clear on the task for the next day or the task at hand. You're not clear and focused on that. You know, you need to exercise your body, whether it's 10 minutes a day, 30 minutes a day, 2 hours. Just get up and move. We need to
Do
be
something.
outside, do something.
Yeah.
We need to be outside in the sunshine. I remember during COVID, you know, mental illness, it just skyrocketed because people were in the house and they were
Yeah.
not outside in the sunshine. They weren't moving around. I made it a point in our house, even my children, we had to get out and walk every day
Good.
just to be in the sunshine and soak up some vitamin D.
That's good. Good. Great
So
habits.
you just, when you're able to do those things, then you're able to be clearer, become more focused. You're able to deal with stresses. You need to take one thing at a time to deal with because you can't resolve everything all at once. So take one issue, resolve that issue and move forward, or at least put a plan in motion to resolve the issue. But again,
That's
without even taking care of your health and your wellness, you can't even start to do that on a clear path.
That's good. We're actually a part of a challenge right now. It's a Courtney Wellness Companion Challenge. And so anybody that is interested, every single day we're eating from a different color food chart. So today is green day, if I'm not mistaken. So it's like yesterday was orange day and the day before was red day. So we have to eat something in that food category. So
Oh,
like
neat.
on red day, we had to eat red grapes, or you could eat pomegranate or anything, just something red. And you have to post a video. It's a pretty fun challenge.
Oh,
So every
neat.
day I'm eating foods I never would, like on purple day, I had some blueberries. I never eat blueberries, but I was like, what? I need to find something purple. So I put them on a salad and put some black olives. I don't eat that. I don't ever eat that stuff that much, if I'm being totally transparent here. But at the
Right.
end of the day, it's forcing me to eat stuff in the proper color chart of the Taste the Rainbow challenge that Courtney Wellness Companion is doing. So I love
And
it.
don't you feel much better? Don't you feel much
Yes, I
better?
feel much better. And I actually, everybody's like, oh, your skin looks more clear, like clearer. I was like, do I? Let me turn my side profile. Like, I didn't know I was looking any better, but I'll take it. Thank God. And then I've been doing Just Dance, Effie. So when you're talking about just doing something and moving our bodies and stuff like that, I think that that's just been something that's just helping me feel better and rest. I get gets none. I know that's not proper grammar. I gets my rest. I gets my sleep because I have so many different things happening in life. I'm not able to properly think straight if I don't get proper rest. You have to get proper rest.
You
If you don't
have
get
to.
proper rest, you can't. How can you even have clarity of purpose and thought and be able to do what you need to do the next day?
Yeah, you have to. I suffer from insomnia for many years, and but I also, because my mind said, "Oh, you can function off of 2, 3, 4 hours of sleep. You're okay."
Exactly.
And I had to change that, and I had to say, "Lay down and go to sleep," and then realize when I laid down and go to sleep, I felt better in the morning, and my thoughts were clearer, and I wasn't
Yep,
just trying to get through that day.
that's
You
right.
feel different. You feel different.
I feel significantly better. And another thing that I do, I'm just telling you some things that I do too as the balance doctor that has really helped me in my journey. I actually write down, and I have my notebook here, but I write down what I want to accomplish that next day. And it's some of the things that are my must do items. And everything's not a must do. It can wait to the next day or the next few days or whatever. But then there are some things that I have to get accomplished. So my advice is always to write down things that you have to get done and then carry over some of the other things that can wait. And even on the next day, when you go to accomplish that thing that you think can wait, guess what? It might have to get carried over again because it really wasn't that significant anyway. So,
Right. But
all right,
if you know you need to complete it, it's on your task to do. And
it's on me.
that helps. And I think I used to, my mind used to be like, oh, I have all of these things to do, and I kept them all in my head. And then because they were whirling in my head, it became overwhelming. And so I
Yeah,
got nothing done, or I would get one thing done, and then the deadline gets there, and I'm stressed, and I'm stressing my family out because I'm like, well, I got all of these things to do. And they're like, well, you knew that three
you
weeks
knew
ago.
that like a month ago. Why you getting brand new? Didn't you talk about that a while ago? Yes, but now it's the day that it's due, and I'm stressed, and I've
Yeah.
procrastinated, and blah blah blah. And
Yeah.
procrastination, I forget who said it, but for procrastination is the assassination of your motivation.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I just
That's true.
I think that's a true quote, even though I don't know who to give credit to. Okay. Listen, make sure you all stay connected with Effie Robertson, and you can tell them how they can do that for our podcast listeners too. Tell them how to stay connected with you, Effie.
They can go to effierobertson.com. And also I'm on all social media platforms as Effie Robertson, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I don't use Twitter that much, but I'm there. So I guess I need to increase my Twitter presence, but I don't use that as much. And I'm also on TikTok. I'm learning TikTok. That's a new thing. The older
TikTok is its
you get, that's
own
part of
beast
that
over there.
resilience. You have to learn how to change as the world changes,
Right.
and not kind of stay stuck in your old way and say, well, that worked. It did work, but now the world is kind of shifting to something new. And so
Right.
that's a whole nother beast right there, doing social media, learning social
And
media.
what is Simply Money? What is that?
And Simply Monet is a online boutique that I also have, and that's also for the women, because sometimes just trying to get through your day, we sell accessories, but trying to get through your day, you don't want to be a Claire Huxtable every day. Sometimes you just want to add a little necklace, a little jewelry, and make it look jazzy and look presentable, and not have to do the whole, entourage of outfits and all of that. Just
You know,
have
Claire
your
Huxtable,
outfit.
though, she stepped out. You ain't playing. Girlfriend, you look good. You look
Thank you.
good. Like, who says that's nice? Who is that? Is that Tiffany Haddish, right? Does she say that?
Not yet. Yet.
She's like, that's
Pep it up a
nice.
little bit.
Yes,
Pep
you
it
look
up.
good. All right, listen, everybody. We're talking with Effie Robertson today, and we're talking about just being resilient and how we can win through resiliency. I would love to hear about some of the projects that you're working on now, some things that you're proud of to be able to share with the community so that we can kind of like deep dive into some of those things as well right after we come back. But this time I'm not formally going to a commercial break because people can still see you, but I want to let you all know that today's episode is also sponsored by Lamb Funeral Home. Lamb Funeral Home is in the Concord, North Carolina area, but they are certified in all 50 states. So a lot of people, actually over 700,000 people, just with COVID related situations alone, need funeral home services. So Lamb Funeral Home, their family is eager to serve yours. They have over 28 years of funeral home experience. And Mr. Terry Lamb, who is the owner here, he is a veteran as well. So he knows all of the ins and outs of veteran benefits, whether you're an adult dependent child of a veteran or if you're a spouse of a veteran. Give them a call, 704-782-3011, and let them know that the Kim Jacobs Show sent you their way. So we are talking here with Effie Robertson, and she is talking to us about how to win through resiliency. So what are some of the projects you're working on, Effie?
So I'm so excited. Actually, I have 2 books that will be coming out in January. So I'm really, really excited about that. One of them is Possibilities Unlimited, and that's going to be co-authored with Dr. Cheryl Wood and also Uncle Les Brown. We call him. So I'm super, super excited about that. And the book is just about that, Possibilities Unlimited. Your possibilities are unlimited. The root word to impossible is possible. So all things in life is possible. Also, I'm working on another book that will also be coming out in January. That's called Trailblazers. It's Trailblazers 2, and that's with Kern and Kern Crockett. She is the visionary for that book. And again, it's trailblazers that have paved the way for other women and just want to be empower and inspire other women to get out there. Sometimes we just get stuck. We know sometimes, especially women that get kind of in their 40s, we want to transition to something different. And sometimes we believe that's not possible, or we don't know where to start or how to start, or even just transition out of another career into another career. And just like me, this whole round for me is new. Coming from nursing and now going into the speaker world is new, but I'm excited about it. I'm excited about the opportunities that are coming up. I have some upcoming speaking engagements that will be next year that I'm working on now. So I'm very excited about that. I also have an ebook that I put on my website. It's called Winning with Resiliency. We're also working on another book that we will also have a download for that will be coming soon. And I will also be doing some coaching. I'm working on getting all of that together as well. So I'm very excited about 2022, putting things in place, just moving and not stopping. And again, resiliency is just not about surviving. It's about thriving. It's about thriving.
That's good. That's good. Well, I'm excited about everything that you're sharing. If you want to know what I'm over here smiling about while you're talking, is this right here. I'll go ahead and show you. I've pulled up something and I was like, oh, I have to show this, period. That's the bottom line. Okay, this right here. I was like, is he eating your nose? Is he just chewing you up? I was like, oh, I was over here like in a whole giddy mode. I was like, look at how he was eating her face. He love her.
My husband, he is my biggest supporter, my biggest cheerleader. He's wonderful. I can't say enough about him.
I'm so excited about that picture. I was like, I have to go to that. I wouldn't normally just show any pictures, but I was looking while you were talking. I was like, oh, my cheeks are hurting. He's chewing her face. That's awesome.
And again, Kim, it's one of those things I didn't for a long time. I did not think that I deserved to be happy. I did not think I deserved to be happy. So
wow. Were you married before or no?
I was married for 10 years before my ex-husband, and that's another show.
Yeah, that's a whole different episode. We ain't gonna talk about that on this episode. We're just gonna keep it moving and talk about the man that's eating her face. How long you been married? How long have you all been married?
We've been married for 6 years now. 6 years.
He still chew you up like a piece of candy. You still sweet to him, huh?
Yeah.
And
it's funny because it's not. I remember before, pretending being happy. And like there's no pretense in this at all.
That's so good.
It's really genuine love. It's no pretense at all. So yeah.
I'm so excited for you. So that gives a lot of women hope that are going through situations, especially during this holiday season. You have
Yeah.
people that are transitioning in life and they may be either by themselves or maybe they're with someone new, like you said, 6 years in now. What advice do you give to people that may be dealing with coming from a previous relationship and now they're finding their true love like you?
I say give yourself grace. Give yourself grace. Believe that you are worthy of happiness. Believe that if that person tells you that they love you, believe it. Believe it. I think sometimes because of our past experience, we beat ourselves up. So in turn, we beat our loved ones up
Aw.
because we want them to say the things that we really think and feel, but it's not how they think and feel about us. They really love us. So accept that. Accept
That's
it.
good. Accept it. Accept it. I see some virtual studio audience comments coming in. Let me get my little music going again. Okay, y'all. Did y'all keeping some comments coming in over here that we want to hear about? So let's see. All right. We go to the virtual studio audience and let me make sure I don't skip anybody. People be like, I know she saw my comment and she just went past it. So this is going to be our flash round, everybody. If you have a few comments that you want to share, go ahead and type them in. I see you, Veronica Harris. I see you. That's my cousin. Glad to have you here. Shantae Stovall, proud of you, sissy.
That's
Because
my
she's
sister.
proud of you. Okay, let's see who else had comments coming in. Keep your comments flowing. And make sure you all take a moment to subscribe to the Kim Jacobs Show right on our YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you take a moment to do that. And this is one of the ways that we do get monetized. So go take a moment, subscribe, tell everybody you know to subscribe, turn that notification bell to all. So when we go live, you do get that notification. All right, let's see. Let's see who else had. Oh, now he's trying to get some brownie points. James Robertson, you are a trip. And yes, you got a whole bunch of brownie points. He said, yes, she's still sweet. Goodness, look at how it made you smile. I see your back teeth over there, Effie. I see all your back teeth back, y'all. That's funny. Good morning to you, Mom. Glad you're on today. And let's see, James Robertson said as well that he just put a smiley face because he wanted those brownie points. Yes, yes, yes. All right, everybody, listen, we're talking with Effie Robertson. Some of the new books that she has coming out in January. Trailblazers 2 is with Kern Cherry, and she's going to be a part of that anthology project. Also, Possibilities Unlimited with Cheryl Woods, right? And with Uncle Les Brown. They're going to be a part of that project together. So some great things that's happening. And then Winning Through Resiliency. Didn't you say that as well?
Yes, there's an ebook that's on my website that that people can go and take a look at. Just giving people some tips about winning with resiliency. And I will be having another book that will be coming out to give some more tips. It will be 50 tips about winning with resiliency. So that also will be coming out in March.
Excellent.
And then I will have my own personal biography coming out in midsummer. So I'm very busy.
And that's a good thing because you're resilient and you're determined to bounce back and go into the new phase of your life. So over the course of this holiday season, what's any advice that you can give to people that feel like they're down and out and that they've lost all hope, but they don't really need to lose hope because they have you teaching us about resiliency? What tips you give to everybody?
Make a connection.
We missed part of it. Say it again.
I would say make a connection.
Make a connection.
Make a connection and talk to someone. Oftentimes we believe that we are alone or that people don't understand or don't want to hear our voice. But many times, a lot of us feel like we are interfering when we ask too many questions. So reach out to people because people don't feel bothered. People want to help. People genuinely want to help other people.
Yes.
And they don't feel bothered, but we have to learn how to reach out and make that connection and say, hey, I just need to talk.
That's
I
good.
just
So you're saying this is good. What you're saying is don't wait for somebody to reach out to you. You
yeah,
reach out to them
yes,
and say, I
yes.
just need to talk.
I just need to talk. Can you just listen? I know for me, a lot of times I
Good.
did not reach out because I felt like I was bothering that person or they had their own issues, they didn't want to help. And that many times is not the case. Many times people will tell you, well, I was just kind of waiting for you to reach out to me because I didn't want to bother you. So,
That's so you hear that all the time when people reach out to me, and I promise you, now any person that's reaching out to me, do I ignore or not respond to? If you reach out to me and people are like, oh, but you're so busy, you're so this, you're so that, you would be so surprised how many people I do talk to that take a moment to just give me a quick call. I'm a
yes,
regular old person, and I love people, and I need love, and I love love, so it's all good.
it's all good. I had actually three people that reached out to me last week that I do not talk on a regular basis. One person I haven't talked to them in probably 10 years. And they just said, "We see what you're doing. I just needed someone to talk to. I just needed some advice." And we
Mm,
ended up on the phone for probably 2 hours.
see,
So
that's
it's
so good.
and they was like, "I didn't want to bother you. I don't feel bothered. Give me a moment to get away from what I'm doing, and no, let's talk. Is everything okay?" So it's okay to reach out to people.
Mhm.
It's
That's
okay to
good.
reach out.
That's real good. So any things that you and your family do over the holidays that's like any kind of traditions or anything?
Well, I have a grandson who's 4. So my oldest son, who's 26, I used to take him to the movies every Christmas. So, and it's his son. So now I want to start the tradition back up to go to the movies on Christmas. And so since Sing 2 is out, I figure we can do that as a family, go and start that tradition. And so, but we eat a lot. We eat too much. We watch movies. We play games. It's my favorite time of the year. And as a child, I didn't have the best Christmases. So I
Okay.
made sure that I transitioned this my adulthood and for my children to have the best Christmases that we could possibly
That's
have.
good.
So it's different. We just love on each other. Yeah.
That's
And they
good.
always say I
Good, good.
overdo it with decorations.
You go all in for the decorations, you
All
say?
in.
That is hilarious. Well, I'm sure you guys are going to have lots of fun in your house, especially with all the big projects and things that you have coming up in the very new year. So lots of things to celebrate, and I'm excited. Oh, I see you, Retha. Retha said, hey, I needed to hear this. Retha Brantley said, I needed to hear this. I think we all needed to hear this, Retha.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that you tuned in today and glad that you're in the virtual studio audience. Wow. Another thing I want to make sure you all know is that, listen, if you're interested in starting your own talk show and you want to know how to do it from scratch, I'm going to talk to you about how to do that. But one thing that you should know is that people often ask how you can support the Kim Jacobs Show. The way that you can do that is through pouring into our ministry, and it's various ways to do that. This is the only way we can come on live Monday through Friday. I mean, that's like The View and all of like CBN, PBS, different shows like that may come on daily. But in order for a show to come on faithfully like this each weekday at 11 o'clock a.m., we need people to support the programming so that we can continue to bring balance to the world one household at a time. So these are some of the ways that you can support. And we thank you for your online contributions. Also, people have asked me, Kim, you do this talk show thing. How do you teach people to do it? We have a master class, and I work with you one-on-one for 6 straight weeks. So every 1 hour per week, everything that I've learned from being with PBS and being on the Word Network and being with NBC as the balance expert for over 13 years, I've been doing this whole talk show thing and got a Telly Award back there. We pour it into you guys. And so please feel free to go to kimjacobsconsulting.com. And now, as of this week, we do have a finance option available. You just have to reach out to me and we'll get you the application. And that consists of 360 days, same as cash for the financing option. and they pay the company, and you all get started with your course. So it's like, that's a good option, right? I love it. I just was able to announce that this week. So if you're interested, definitely let me know. Or if some people want to know how to get trained on just this platform that we use, I have an exclusive program that teaches you how to use this program. Many churches want to know, presenters, professors, speakers. If you want to learn about just this platform, we do have an option for that as well. So, Effie, what are any final thoughts you want to share with everyone today?
My final thoughts are, we cannot become who or what we want to become if we remain who or what we are. So, and shift your mindset, embrace your change, and build your resiliency.
I'm trying to type what you're saying. We cannot become who we are to become, and still
we cannot become who or what we want to become if we remain who or what we are. So shift your mindset and embrace your change and build your resiliency.
Woo-hoo! You heard it right here from Effie Robertson. And if you want to shift that mindset, definitely reach out to her. So if you want, I'm going back to that. Wait a minute. I'm going back. Let me put this up right here is what I want to know. I'm so busy trying to teach y'all how to do a talk show. But believe it or not, people that graduate, they loving it. They love it doing their talk shows. But we cannot become who we are to become and still remain who we currently are. Effie Robertson. So you have to shift that mindset. You have to shift that mindset.
Build that resiliency. Come stronger. Yes. Yes.
I am so proud of you. Tomorrow we have on the Kim Jacobs Show a woman that's come from humble beginnings. Her name is Lisa Santiago McNeil, and she's going to be talking to us right here on the Kim Jacobs Show at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I can't wait to have her on either. You've been such a delight and a joy to have here on today's episode.
Thank you, Kim.
And you too, Mr. James. I ain't gonna leave you out. He like, don't leave me out. Say something now. Don't play, because you know I gotta get those brownie points. And you know what? When we're talking about family traditions, I will tell you guys, in the Jacobs household, my children do the most when it comes to this whole what is the elf on the shelf thing. They're so silly. And so Effie, I have children that are 13 up to 24. You would think that really it's over. The elf on the shelf is over, right? We're not doing that. And it's just a silly thing. We just do little bags of prizes and things. Well, I want to show y'all as we get prepared to close out. I'm just showing y'all some things as we've been counting down to Christmas. Listen, look at these kids. Look at them. Look at them. Can you hear it? It's not. I
can't hear it.
Oh, there's no voice. Okay, wait a minute. Let me go to the Facebook one. Oh, that video has no sound. That's why. Oh, okay. Yeah, that particular one doesn't have sound. So you won't be able to hear that one. I don't know what I did with. Let me see. I wanted to be able to show y'all. They so silly. I said these kids are so dramatic. I didn't even realize that video didn't even have sound. So I can't produce the sound if there's no sound on there, huh?
No.
Let me go to Instagram for a second and see if I can pull that version of it up. They're so silly though. They do the most. Let's see. I'll go over to. Can I do it on there? Is it on the reel? Yeah, I think so. Give me 1 second.
Oh, that's fine.
I'll pull it up. If I can get to these reels. Let's go over here. I was trying to do it from my computer here, so I wonder if I can. Oh, I definitely am not gonna show that. I don't know what these people are doing on these things. There must be somebody else's like just explore page. Oh, here's reels right here. They so silly here. Okay. Does that have sound? Okay. Yeah, okay. So here, look at this. They so silly. And we'll go over here right quick, and then we're gonna get off this show. Here, let me see if I can show y'all this. This is, yeah, okay. On the shelf competition. Can you see that? And they have to find the elf on the shelf. It's a tradition. and they take it so seriously. I'm watching CNN Heroes, by the way, but so it's very. Look at my 24-year. Look at him. Look at my 16-year-old. You're my kid now.
So they're looking for the elf on the shelf.
Yeah. Frankie found.
It was in the couch.
The first elf on the shelf. There's another one. There are two this year. They're gonna push each other over. They're so crazy. I'm like, get on. It's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. So they actually go to extremes. They be pushing each other. They pick my daughter up and move her on the other side of the room so she can't win. I said, you know what? This is ridiculous. But this year we have two elf on the shelves, and the African American elf on the shelves with the African American faces. So I was like, yeah. So anyway, all right, y'all. Now that I done took the show over, just showing y'all something so silly.
It's fine. It's fine.
Effie, you know how when you're on a show and you're closing out and you're like, I should have said this. I cannot believe I forgot to say this. Well, is there anything?
No, I don't think so. I think we covered everything. Oh, one thing. I will be having a podcast coming out. I haven't set my launch date. So it would be between February and March. I haven't set the official launch date yet, but it's called Life Disruptors. Disruptions.
Well, I'm glad you haven't. We're gonna talk backstage for a second, so don't set no launch date. Don't you say another word, woman.
Okay,
don't say another word. I'm being so silly. Don't pay me any attention.
Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it so much.
It's been amazing. I want to put your contact information up one more time, everybody. And I see you, James. James, he like, I've been an active participant. I've been on the show the whole time, baby. I didn't miss a beat. For praying hands. So stay connected with Effie Robertson at effierobertson.com or simplymonet.com as well for her boutique of items that will give women everyday options that you can dress up, dress down, just little pieces that you can work from for the holiday season. All right. And I see you, James. We're going to end. Oh, he said, great show. Great show. You got your baby's dimple up at the top underneath her eyes showing. Look at that. You done yanked a real deep dimple out. All right, everybody. I'm getting off this good show. Have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Stay backstage, okay? And I'll talk to you.
All right. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas and happy holidays and happy New Year, happy Hanukkah, happy everything that you celebrate. I am excited. Have a great one. Hello, everyone. I'm Kim Jacobs, host of The Kim Jacobs Show, where we're bringing balance to the world, one household at a time. Listen, we go live every weekday, Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I bring guests on that talk about their backstories, things that they've had to overcome to become who they are today. Many of them are balancing and juggling life, and they've become experts in different fields. So they're sharing tips with you to make your life just a little bit easier. Many times as a guest in the studio audience, you'll get a chance to walk away with a missing piece of the puzzle that might be missing in your life. Let's go on this journey together, and I look forward to seeing you Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on The Kim Jacobs Show.